Hey everyone, we have a story here that needs to get a lot more attention. This story is of a young Muslim man who wanted to challenge a sheikh about lying about his fellow Muslim. And what happened? He got mobbed. What happened to this young 18-year-old man is insane. The whole Muslim crowd, the community, they all went after him to try to take away his phone, to hide the evidence of this little interaction that he had where he challenges this sheikh about lying about Salman. Who's Salman? Salman is well known for his channel Behind Veils. He's one of the only Muslims that we know that actually goes and exposes the dark side of the Muslim community, the dark side of the Muslim Dawa gangs, the underbelly, the rotting flesh that no one wants you to see. Now, because of this, he's hated in the community. And so these people will constantly do character assassination on him. For example, let's see what Yaser Birjas said about calling the police. All of this is a complete lie, by the way, but this is quite a story. Let's get into it.
To go and assist and help. We came basically with a report that's saying the call came from your house. I got the call. The moment you called, in regard to this issue, we said, guys, we have a situation here. We need to make sure that everything is okay. We got the call, so I got actually the report, not the report, at least the verbal actually, report from the police saying that they traced the calls, eventually it came from your place.
On that day, what the imam of our mosque claimed.
So this is what Yaser Birjas said, what we just heard. He's telling people in the Muslim community that he called the police on Salman of Behind Veils because there was an issue that Salman was involved with, like illegal activity or whatever. It doesn't specify here, but what happened is he's telling people this is a bad guy, so I called the cops on him. Now, what we're going to hear next, and we're skipping most of it to make it as simple as possible, but what you're going to hear next is now Salman of Behind Veils calling the police department to confirm whether what the imam just said, whether that's true.
And
is that he spoke with some.
Sorry?
I was going to say, and pay attention to how Yaser Birjas, the way he corrects himself. He says, I got the report, or I got the verbal report. And, my mind is always thinking, what does that mean? You got a verbal report. That could mean anything, really. I mean, and it's not going to be comparable to actually having the real police report in your hand. So yeah, I find it interesting how he says he has a report, then he corrects himself. He doesn't actually have a police report. I don't think he has anything other than his lies, but let's continue.
Somebody from the police, I believe he said that he got a call from the police and they said that the call came from my house.
No, that's not true at all. I don't know where they got that information, but that did not come. It's one of those internet phone numbers, and then it was deleted, and it was under false it's created under false pretense. So I don't know.
Just to explain super fast without getting into too much detail, but the person that called the police on Salman was like an internet prankster that had made hundreds of fake calls, and SWAT teams actually banged and busted into people's houses over these calls where the guy pretended he killed his girlfriend or something, right? So Salman doesn't have a girlfriend, and none of this is true, but this is the calls that was happening. And we skipped that part, but just to summarize quickly, he's asking the police, did the call come from my house? And the police is saying no, right?
You said that,
absolutely. And so what's really
false. Nothing in there about that at all. I didn't speak, and it's been a while. I've talked to a lot of people, but no, I did not speak to any imam from the. So I don't know what they're talking about, but it's definitely not my report. You can sue them in civil court for defamation of character.
Yeah.
The civil litigations of that can be, and then use the reports. As like saying, hey, here's the reports, and they can subpoena me to a civil court and say, hey, did you? Nope, never spoke to that person. Nope, never spoke to the. For civil remedies.
Okay.
Just over 2 weeks back.
So just gonna pause it there. Do you have anything to add to that before we jump into the actual craziness that happened to that little boy?
This is serious stuff on behalf of what Yaser Birjas has said and claimed, and refuses to acknowledge or clear up. Okay, despite whether Yaser Birjas likes Salman or not, whatever he may feel about Salman because of Dunya and all that drama, I do think Salman deserves an apology. He deserves an apology. And he, from his perspective, Yaser Birjas, this is supposed to be your brother in faith, whether you like him or not, whether you think he's a good person or not, whether you believe what, has happened with him and Dunya or not. No matter what, this is a lie. You didn't receive any police report. Nothing, no call came from Salman's house. That's what he's claiming, right?
Yeah.
Salman is long overdue for an apology. And I don't know, is it because of the reputation of Yakin and Al Maghrib and all these organizations and their money, their livelihood is on the line here? I mean, I don't know if they care so much. Like, my thinking is, if you care so much about Allah and the afterlife and, doing what's right in this life, you should apologize to Salman.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, they can say whatever they want and still get away with it. At this point, making an apology saying, I was wrong about this, he wouldn't face any repercussion from the Muslim community. In fact, they'd probably look up to him more, but the slime balls, these people, right? And so just to give a little bit of background about what's going to happen, just to explain it, Al Maghrib Institute is an institute I've attended myself multiple times in the past, and it's a weekend seminar, modern style for young Muslims, where they book like a conference hall, or they book, usually it's like a university room, a lecture hall, and you just come for the weekend. So most of these people that attend are young working professionals like myself at the time, and it's catering to the young audience, right? And so he came to this weekend seminar, this young boy, wanting to ask about this phone call. He's like, okay, he saw Salman's video and we're going to watch the recording. He decided to record the incident with Yaser Birjas, and it went really badly for him. You're going to see what Yaser Birjas did when he found out that this boy was recording him. So that, just to give you a little bit of background, that's what we're going to hear.
To Musa saying, go ask
Musa is the name of the boy, okay, by the way.
him, not me. And even worse, go talk to the ex-wives of the men who had spoken up against him. Moments later, Yaser Birjas noticed Musa was recording the conversation. But why? For what reason? It was for his own safety and to preserve the truth, and to serve as a protection from liars that use their religious positions and influence to twist the narrative. That's when everything changed. Yaser Birjas immediately ordered someone to take the phone and delete the recording.
I was gonna say, I don't know, Brother Salman personally.
This is the boy now recording the question he's asking. And it's a very fair question. If you said something wrong about someone in public, you're in a position of authority. Why didn't you retract your statement, right?
And Yaser Birjas has enough experience in the public eye, speaking decades of this. And it's very interesting and telling how when he's confronted by an 18-year-old boy, all of a sudden, all of that, that public speaking, finesse disappears.
Yeah, he's rattled. And again, we're going to ask a question. Why is he so scared of him recording this? What is he hiding?
Right.
Like this, he's clearly shaken by this whole situation, and you can tell. Okay, let's watch.
But I seen his videos and stuff, so I've seen how he was got swatted and stuff, and how you were claiming that the call came from his house, but actually the guy got arrested. There's some 18-year-old guy, and he was doing this hundreds of times, making fake situations and then getting people swatted. So my question is, why haven't you spoken up? Why haven't you taken back what you said? If you made a mistake and you're lying and slandering against him, Brother Salman, the guy from VRIC.
What do you know about the situation anyway?
I know he got banned, and
What do you know about the situation?
there was a video. There was a video of him asking you about it, and you kind of just ignored him and walked off, because he has a YouTube channel. So I saw all the videos, so I kind of know a lot about the situation. What?
Ask him, don't ask me.
Ask him what?
Ask this question. Okay?
The question is, you made a mistake. Why don't you apologize or retract your statement? He's like, ask him.
Yeah.
And well, he's also asking too. You walked off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but do you understand what I'm saying? If you were truthful, you would have had advice. Can you take this phone, leave the recording? Sorry? Take the recording and delete the recording. Take the phone and take the phone.
Wow, he got more
You
and
know
more
what?
aggressive. He said, "He's take the phone, take the phone."
Yeah, he's like, take the phone. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking, I'm not like the laws differ state by state, everything like that, but I wonder if this could be considered assault.
Yeah.
What's about to unravel next?
Wow.
There's
Interesting.
there's
And
this might be considered assault, what they did. I'm not sure. I'm not a
and
legal expert,
the
but
video survived, so we have evidence now.
yeah.
So let's see what happened next.
Within seconds, several men surrounded him. They blocked his exit. They backed him into a wall. The crowd watched as a teenager was cornered, interrogated, and humiliated right inside the hall. They forced him into a side classroom with glass walls where multiple people continued to pressure him to delete the recording. For over an hour, they bombarded him with threats. Delete it or we'll call the police. Delete it or we'll fine you. Delete it or you'll be arrested for trespassing. Delete it or we'll kick your. Yet the irony and the horror is that he was the one being unlawfully detained. He had a ticket to attend Al Maghrib class. He was even willing to peacefully leave. But they were the ones stopping him from leaving the building. A senior Al Maghrib figure then got involved, Walid Basyuni, the president of Al Maghrib Institute. Rather than stopping the abuse, he joined in on the intimidation, trying to coerce him to delete the recording. Imagine that. A teenager surrounded by adults, terrified, his phone in his pocket being demanded, and the president of a global Islamic institute telling him he's sinful for recording what is within his legal rights and his only means of protection against someone proven to be a habitual and compulsive liar? When a barrage of threats didn't work, they escalated further. One man, a member of the Young Muslims organization, told Musa that another individual, quote, had a Glock, a gun. Let that sink in, threatening him and inferring that they could take physical action that could harm his life. Then, as the situation reached its peak, a man named Ernest forcefully wrapped his arm around Musa's waist, picked him up, dragged him outside, and stuck his hand into Musa's pocket to snatch his phone. He then threatened Musa to factory reset his phone and then mail it back to him. When that didn't work, another individual took the phone and tried to unlock it by holding it in front of Musa's face, to which Musa quickly put up his hand to block it.
Wow.
This is
You know what?
sickening. This is illegal. This is the very definition of abuse of power. A young Muslim, still a teenager, was physically assaulted, restrained, and violated inside a masjid by men claiming to represent knowledge and religion. They put their hands on him. They tried to unlock his phone by force. They tried to illegally erase any evidence. This.
You
Go
know
ahead.
what?
Yeah.
I would say the fact that, I mean, they're threatening him, physically touching him, dragging him outside, physically
Detaining
removing
him.
his phone, detaining him, basically, yeah, an unlawful detainment. And I'm thinking too, guess what else there's probably the Valley Ranch Islamic Center probably has outside? They probably have cameras. There are cameras out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
There are cameras out there with this footage.
Well, this might not
So
be at this might be at a school or something, but yeah, we don't know.
there's definitely cameras, even if there's a gas station across the street, right?
Yeah.
There's a possibility, very good possibility there's camera footage of this. But I'm wondering if this is, I mean, this sounds like assault, honestly.
Yeah, this does sound like assault. This is actually insane, and this is why we said this needs to get more views.
Yeah.
What is so terrifying to Sheikh Yaser Birjas that he wanted to delete? Like, why are you so scared of even being questioned about this that you're willing to like mob this young man? It's
Right.
insane. Like, he's terrified. He's completely shaking that he's willing to go through all this and basically get this kid assaulted and potentially ruin the reputation of Al Mug. This whole thing has escalated so much so now that because he managed to save the recording, nothing worked. All of the bullying, grabbing his phone, trying to unlock it in front of his face, physically threatening him, detaining him, threatening to call the police on him. All of these things, nothing worked. This boy still managed to keep his phone and the recording intact. So
Yeah,
now
you
what
know
are they
what?
going to do?
And good for this kid for resisting all of that intimidation, because if you're an 18-year-old kid involved in something like this, there's all these grown adult men, these, big wig Islamic figures, Al Maghrib people, Yaser Birjas mafia, all these people grabbing you, threatening you, all that stuff. I mean, a lot of kids would just succumb to that. They would just go delete it, whatever. But he resisted all of that. You know what else I was thinking, Abdullah? Like,
Mhm.
so I'm not like tech savvy like this, but if he recorded this, like, isn't it possible that it would back up to his
Yeah,
Google Photos right away?
I
So
was
even if
thinking
he
that.
factory reset his phone, it's still there.
Yeah, if he
I
had
would
that
have
on, yeah.
just, you know what? What Yasser Birjas should have done was politely and respectfully like decline to answer his
Yeah.
question and carried on with that mentality through the whole interaction, polite, respectful, and that's it. And you know what? It is what it is. Accept it. It happened. Let the kid go.
Yeah.
Let the kid go. And
Yeah.
this is supposed to be the group of people they're concerned about the most leaving Islam.
And on top of it, this is the same man that claimed he called the police on on Salman,
Yeah.
but he's acting completely out of bounds as to what is acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear one more thing that Salman has to say, and then we'll give a final remarks.
Okay.
What was done to this young man is not only immoral, it is criminal. Assault, intimidation, unlawful detention. And the people behind it weren't thugs on the street. They were religious figures using the sacred walls of a masjid to carry out intimidation in defense of their sheikh.
Maybe it was a masjid.
I want to take a moment to really bring something into focus for everyone watching and for our ummah. Dawah mafia is not just some meme or baseless phrase. It encapsulates the reality of how a large portion of the religious network of leaders operate. If there's one thing they want you to believe, it is that they are of a protected class. They are above accountability. They are infallible. Their sincerity and their actions are to never be questioned. And if you dare get near to the hornet's nest, you will feel the fury of stings you could never have fathomed. They will ban you, they will ostracize you, demonize you, and do everything in their power behind closed doors to ensure that your existence in the community will be one characterized with disgrace. But what does this incident, along with the many others I have detailed for the past 2 years, what does this say about the so-called religious leaders of our time? Men who speak endlessly about Islamic manners, yet have none when confronted with the truth. And what does it say about Walid Bassiouni, who instead of condemning the abuse, used his religious authority to pressure a teenager to delete evidence and then banned him from Al Maghrib Institute? When I personally reached out to Walid Bassiouni as someone who's known him for over 15 years, studied under him, and respected him, he ignored me.
Bismillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So we're not going to go through this whole email that he sent to the president of Al Maghrib, but basically he told him that what happened was completely wrong and asked him why did he take the side of the sheikh and why is he not condemning the sheikh, and basically what are they asking for is accountability, right? That's it.
Yeah.
That's all he wants is accountability and apology. Admit that you said wrong, admit that you treated this student of yours that paid money for the seminar like completely inappropriately.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also wonder, I'm thinking about this situation, what this looked like for this kid being surrounded by these, grown men who were, they were being awful to him. Is there anybody, like, who else witnessed this at this event? Who else was a witness to this? Did any of these men who were involved in this, who were doing this to this kid, did anybody at any point try to stop it? He was being threatened. He was dragged outside. Did anybody at any point, did their conscience come online and did they step in and say, hey, this is going too far. We should leave this kid alone. We shouldn't be doing this to him. I'm wondering, as this story unfolds more, I'm sure we're going to hear more, but I question that. There's this group of men, none of them None of them knew or understood what the right thing to do was, which is just leave the kid alone, let him go.
Yeah.
You can't after this whole incident, I mean, there's body cam footage of Salman being dragged out of his house. There's there's calls with the police officer where they're telling Salman, no, I didn't speak with anybody about this. Or there's, Yaser Birjas is lying. He's lying. End of story.
Yep. He's lying. The liars, and they care more about the positions of power and to maintain this image of being perfect people. And
Yeah.
it's true that everyone makes mistakes, but these people, they don't want to pay any sort of price for lying, for slandering. They want to be the bad guys, and they want Salman to be the bad guy, no matter what, at any cost, to any lies, to any sort of manipulation of the truth. And this is what we're dealing with. This is why we want you guys to share this video far and wide. We need to multiply Salman's, basically what he's trying to share here, what's happening. We want people to know. He also talks about Imam Nick, which we've spoken about as well, who went through even worse for trying to expose sexual abuse in the mosque. These communities are closed, and they need to be, they need to integrate with the bigger society. They need to have accountability. They need to follow the laws, right? And so and also be accountable for what they say. So if a kid is asking you, how many other Muslims have been watching Salman's videos and are starting to see the truth? So we want to multiply this as much as possible so that people can understand what these sheikhs are really like.
I also wanted to say too that I have an incredible amount of respect for Salman and for Imam Nick. And when I say I have an incredible amount of respect for them, I'm saying it from the perspective of somebody who was once a Muslim. And I knew of Imam Nick for a very long time before any of this stuff even happened. And these guys have integrity. And I'm not just saying that because I'm now on the other side. I don't believe in, we work together and we talk about these issues.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I would even say this, like if I was still a Muslim right now, who am I going to side with? The Yakin Mafia or the Al Maghrib Mafia, or these outliers in the Muslim online community who call out what's wrong and stand up for what's right?
Yeah.
These guys, I don't like people who are silent. Like they were silent about the whole Irving Masjid child essay scandal. They were silent about that and still are to this day, which Imam Nick says in his video. They're silent about so many of the issues, unless like with what Wissam Sharif, Salman says, like they felt like they had to say something for damage control. But if it wasn't in the news like that, they would have said nothing. Right. But like, that's why I have an incredible amount of respect, whether I was Muslim or whether I was a disbeliever, for Salman and Imam Nick. They're good people and they're on the right side of humanity here.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that this young boy gets justice. I hope that the police, whoever gets involved with this incident, I hope that he is able to seek justice. And yeah, I wish the best for him, because this is a terrible experience. And anybody who's a parent should be very concerned about their children being involved in these groups, going to these seminars, asking these people questions. Is this where it's going to go now? Mm-hmm. Is asking a question going to get you dragged into a room and harassed and threatened and assaulted? Is that where this is going with these guys?
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, that's it. That's a wrap. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave Islam behind. Life is better and more beautiful without it. Thanks for being with us to the very end. If you're new here, please do subscribe. Thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up. Multiply the effect of this video by leaving a comment as well if you can. Say something interesting about what you learned, or share what questions you have for Sheikh Yaser Birjas. I think that'd be good. Let's grill him on what really happened. And yeah, this is Mr. and Mrs. Friendly Ex-Muslim
signing out. Bye, guys.
Bye.